while I'm going through this, I want you to either fix these on a separate sheet of paper on the back of this next to your problems. That way you're not making the same mistakes on the test. So if you need extra paper, there are some in the back. Let's start with this first objective. For the most part, we did fine here. There were some minor issues and some issues with wording, number 2. But number 1 should have been 4 times, so we're multiplying, the sum of, so everything after that should have been parentheses, the square of, so not square root, but raised to the second power, and 1, so it would look like this, 4 parentheses n squared plus 1. Some of you put the square on the outside, and we should have put that with the n, because it didn't say the square of everything else, it said the sum of everything else. Some of you switched 1 and n squared. I said that was okay, but in general, we should be writing it as we see it in the same order. The 3 points here were, did you get each of the operations correctly? The multiplying, the parentheses, the square, and the plus. Questions on that? The next one, there were different variations of this. Some of this was fine, some of it you had to fix. So one correct answer could have been writing out the word negative. Then you could have put 1/2, some of you put 1 divided by 2, 1 over 2, however you put that was up to you. Times the difference, we have to say that we're multiplying to everything. Of 3 times n and 2. So negative 1/2 times the difference of 3 times n and 2. That says negative 1/2 is multiplied to everything. 3 is being multiplied to n, and 3n is subtracting 2, or 2 is being subtracted by 3. Okay. Some of you are putting difference and minus 2. That means you're putting an extra minus in there, so don't do that. Some of us changed the difference to a different word, product, sum, something that wasn't difference. So be careful with that. I don't think this happened in this class. I think I saw this in a different class. Using the word group is not an operation word. It could have been this. I don't remember. So just make sure you're using an operation word. Okay. Questions on any of those? Oh, points. The 4 points were, did you make sure this was negative, that you're multiplying to everything, so the difference, you have to be subtracting, and that you're multiplying. So all of your major operations. Questions on that one? Objective 2. Number 3 was tricky for many of us, and it's okay. This was probably the most commonly missed between all of the classes I have. Right. So we needed to combine our like terms. So these were one set. A lot of your paper says order. Yeah, sure. Order doesn't matter. I'm referring to these two because these are like terms. If they were numbers, the P and the M, instead of letters, like 3 and 4, if I multiply 3 and 4 and 4 and 3, we get the same thing either way. So the multiplication here, the order doesn't matter, so we can combine those. And then whether you put NP, PM doesn't matter. And then bringing down that 3 in. Now, this order, the order you put these 3 in, does matter, but this order does not matter. So combining for P cubes, combining your NP or PM, and then leaving the M by itself. Those are 3 cubes. Questions on that one? For the most part, we got distribute the 1/6 to everything and the negative 3/4 to everything. When you distribute, make sure you're multiplying to everything and double check your signs. Some of you put minus 30 instead of plus 30, which threw off the rest of your answer. Make sure you're bringing down your variables. So the 4 points for this one was, did you distribute the first part and the second part correctly? And then did you combine both pieces correctly? Questions on that one? And then evaluating. Most of what I saw that were issues were just not showing every step. But then there were also some, we forgot something somewhere and it changed our answer completely. So the first thing, you should be putting these numbers into this exactly as you see it. So with the absolute value. With these, use parentheses instead of dots. We should be using parentheses more so than dots, unless absolutely necessary. So make sure you have every single thing in as is, as this looks. Then you can start to simplify. And then keep simplifying. And once you're done simplifying in each absolute value, in order to add these, you need to drop the absolute value. So the 5 points for this were, did you put everything in correctly? Did you simplify these two absolute value parts correctly? Did you simplify this part correctly? And then get the correct answer. Questions on that? And the last one was very similar. So put these numbers into everything. Start to simplify each piece. Simplify again. And then simplify to get your final. So the 7 points on this were, did you put everything in correctly as is? Did you simplify each piece? So the square root, the top, the numerator of the fraction, the denominator of the fraction, the cube root. Did you simplify correctly again? And then did you get the correct final answer? Any questions about that one? Or any questions in general? Any last minute calculator review questions? How do you put in the square root? The square root's in blue right here. If we hit second and then x squared, you'll get that square root. Other calculator. questions? Plus. Anything specific on your quiz that you need me to come see? You're not sure what I wrote and you just want to see what it says, or you're not sure where you went wrong with something? I can come to you.